after this, the price definitely gotta go up. Yeah.
What you expect? Told you I wanted, I got it.
This is Dua back again. Here with what you call yourself, Gustavo Escobar.
Yes, sir.
Last video we spoke about all NBA team predictions, but now we're here for the rewards. If you watched our last video, I said that this is all information, all stats they're taking account is prior to the NBA restart. So that was March 11th. We can just hop right into it. Let's start with Rookie of the Year. I think this is pretty easy. It's Ja Morant, even though I think he's a scrub. But that's we can talk about that after Gustavo tells us his person.
No, I mean Ja. I think Ja is a lock. I mean Zion didn't play, and I mean Ja. What he's made even pre-bubble. Well, let's just say pre-bubble. If the season ended, Memphis would be in the playoffs. He turned into a playoff team. I can't knock that.
Do you have his stats up?
No, I don't.
Because one person I just want to throw out there, I didn't even think about him until I started making this video. Is Kendrick Nunn?
Oh, Kendrick Nunn, yeah.
Kendrick Nunn averages 15 and he doesn't average enough assists, but he averages 15 and 3. He took Goran Dragic's spot too. So
Ja's like 18 and 7, right? Something like that.
It's better than Kendrick Nunn. But the only reason I ask that is because Kendrick Nunn is on a good team. But I think Ja's a lock. One thing I'll say about Ja is I didn't watch a lot of him. I only saw the highlights. I've been watching him during the bubble, and he gives me like Mike Conley 2.0, where people like he's like a young Mike Conley. Like, you know how the kids can dunk and jump now? He can do that. Mike Conley couldn't do that, but he has no real game. Like he's good in the open floor, but once he gets into that half court, it's not like he's an exceptional pick and roll guy. He's not like a spot up 3-point shooter. He isn't a guy you're going to give the ball on the wing and be like, yo, go get me a bucket. So at the end of the day, he's just a guy who, if he gets the rebound, he's unstoppable in the open floor for sure. But it's just like he needs to work on the half court thing because too often they're relying on Dillon Brooks to score points in the half court, and you can't win with Dillon Brooks trying to score in the half court.
No, that's a fact.
We can go on to the next one. Most improved player. I'm interested to hear what you have to say. I had Bam Adebayo. I thought it was pretty easy, but there's some people like watching the bubble who I've seen like analysts start mentioning for most improved. So who do you got?
So I got Brandon Ingram. I mean,
that's what I thought you would say. I think Bam had a bigger jump. Like, I'm not saying we thought Brandon Ingram was going to be an all-star, but Brandon Ingram being an all-star is a lot more surprising than Bam Adebayo being an all-star, if that makes sense, because they were both all-stars. Yeah. And on top of that, Bam is on a better team and a vital part of a better team. He's the second best player on that team.
So I agree to that extent. So Brandon Ingram went from last year he averaged 18, 5, and 3. This year he's at 24, 6, and 4. And he is the best player on the Pelicans. Who
weren't good.
I hear you. They're not good. But at the end of the day, I mean, they had so many issues. I don't think Alvin Gentry is that good of a coach. They never really found any meshing point. Lonzo Ball still hasn't really figured out how to play basketball. So it's kind of like they're just kind of all over the place. But Brandon Ingram is the one good thing about them that's consistent. And his jump, I think, has been what he's going to continue this. This is going to be probably the start of like a 5-year streak of him just improving his numbers every year.
Bam went from 8 points a game and 7 boards to 16 and 10, almost 16 and 11. So, I mean, he also had a crazy jump. I think Bam's going to win it, but I can see if they throw a little out there and be like, oh, both of you guys had a crazy jump. But Brandon Ingram was already averaging 18 points a game. We already knew he was a bucket. I don't think it's that surprising as Bam being an all-star. But on to the next one, Sixth Man of the Year. I think this is pretty easy. Actually, they could actually do co for this, but for the same team, Montrezl Harrell. So I got
Yeah, I got the same thing. I don't think this is a cold one. I don't think Lou Will.
No, I don't think it's a code, but Lou Will is also averaging 19 points a game off the bench. So if they did it, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think the NBA is going to be like, Lou, you have 3 of those already. Let's give it to Montrezl, who's
Facts.
killing it. So
Facts.
I think you don't really need to touch on it too much because Harold's killing it. So this one is actually interesting to see who you got. Coach of the year, I got Nick Nurse.
I got Billy Donovan.
So it's funny because last week, I don't know what the award's called, but like coaches vote for who they think should be the coach of the year.
Right.
And it was Billy Donovan and the Bucks coach, I think Mike Budenholzer, however you say his name, and Nick Nurse was a vote away from making it a triple tie. And the reason why I picked Nick Nurse is because he lost a top 3 player in the NBA, and they had the same record at that point of the season that they did the year before. So I just think Nick Nurse has to get it. I understand the Billy Donovan thing, but I think a lot of that was more so the media thinking the Thunder were about to suck when the GM of the Thunder did some wizardry and got Shy and Gallo for literally a guy who's just as good as them, but the NBA crowned Paul George. So it's like, oh, we lost something so big. But I mean, I think if you did it, we didn't do executive of the year on this video, but what's his name? Whoever the Thunder's GM is,
Sam Presti, right?
Stan Presti, yeah, he gave a good roster to the Thunder. Shouts to Billy Donovan though. I'm sticking with Nick Nurse though.
Yeah, so if we had executive year, 100% Sam Presti. The reason I gave it to Billy Donovan is because I think that Billy Donovan he took a team that, the media was like, oh, nobody knows, but I think it was also like, I mean, Shy is young. He's got Shy out there looking pretty solid, like a nice little veteran. He's given CP3 enough leverage and enough like leeway to kind of do his own thing. And the way he's kind of using him and Steven Adams together, I mean, I think Billy Donovan is out there surprising a lot of people because the Thunder, I mean, they play up to competition. So it's not like they're a team that's like, oh, sometimes they win the games they should win, they lose. Nah, they've been winning games, period, all season long. So I think they surprised a lot of people and stems from the coach.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's gonna be interesting who gets it. It's funny that Billy Donovan changed his whole perception in one season because a year ago, like everyone was saying, like KD was saying he was trash, Russ was saying he was trash. Now he's gonna win the coach of the year. Like it's just so crazy what can happen in the year. But on to defensive player of the year. This is gonna be interesting. I gave it to Giannis. I really don't know why I gave it to Giannis. He guards 5 positions for the Bucks. I think he leads the league in blocks. I could be wrong. I'm about to pull it up. Who do you have?
I have AD. I think AD has been AD has been sticking 3 to 5 pretty consistently. He's starting as a power forward, but he's been moving a lot to like whoever the 3 is. He's been proving himself as a pretty solid wing defender, and we already know about his posts. So he's gotten the steals and he's getting the blocks as well. And he's just been a presence in that paint. Now you can also make the debate that presence comes from the fact that they also have JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard. So it's like somebody's going to be getting hella blocks, and it just so happens to be
AD. Did you just say how many blocks he gets again?
AD.
Yeah, that's that.
How many does Giannis get?
He gets 1 a game and 11.4 defensive rebounds and 1 steal.
Okay, so cool. Anthony?
One thing I will say about this reward before you say anything, it's blasphemy that LeBron James never got a defensive player of the year in his career because during his younger days when he really used to strap up and everyone knew LeBron has to chase down block guy, like the fact that he never got one is blasphemy, and that's how you know. Like Marc Gasol has a defensive player of the year. Like, come on, Marc Gasol wasn't even getting blocks that year. So, as you know, this reward is going to be whoever the media wants to give it to.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. So AD was getting 7 defensive rebounds, 1.5 steals, 1.4 steals, and 2.3 blocks.
Oh, he got 2.3 blocks. Yeah, 80 might get it.
Yeah, man. And I just think that he's that presence down there that, like, He's not sweet. He can play the big man, but he can also move with some of the best threes in the game.
Yeah, for sure. So last but not least, we have MVP. I got Giannis again. Who do you have?
I got Giannis, man. I wanted to give it to LeBron, but I can't. I just can't.
I feel like if they gave it to LeBron, I'm gonna lose my shit because this is LeBron's worst season of his career since his rookie year.
The only reason
apart from the fact that he is leading the league in assists, but it's just like I'm not saying LeBron's ass or anything, but I'm just saying there were so many seasons where I was like, LeBron should have got the MVP. It's, you know, you can't win it every year. That's just how the media gets tired. They start rating you versus yourself. But it's just like there was years LeBron was shooting like 60% from field goal and didn't win the fucking MVP award. But yeah, LeBron's going to be in the running. James Harden's another one. I'm so happy seeing James Harden in the bubble right now because you can tell he's heard everything everyone's saying. He's actually playing defense now. The Rockets look good. They are cheating. I don't know how they're doing it, but they are for sure cheating. I don't know, but so Harden will be I think he'll finish second in voting, and then Giannis, he's a lock. Giannis is in like a scary territory right now where it's like he can win, like what I said about LeBron, like Giannis can win the next 5 MVPs. Like, if he doesn't get hurt, he's going to keep averaging 30, 14, and whatever he averages assist-wise. So it's just like, now he just needs to add rings because now once he starts adding rings, he can, you know, start sneaking his way into these top 10 conversations.
No, for sure. I think that the only the main thing that kills me with LeBron is that, like you said, they're comparing him to him. And the only reason they might give him the nod this year is because they're like, oh, well, he's in his 17th season. When it's like that shouldn't be the reason. Like if you're going to give it to him this year, he should have at least 5 or 6 trophies in his damn crib right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the only thing. But Giannis, I mean, the way he's leading the Bucks, you can't debate it. Because some people are even saying that LeBron's not even the best player in the Lakers. So how are you getting MVP? You're not the best player in the Lakers.
Honestly, I didn't mention his name in the 3 people I said would be top 3, but AD should be in this conversation because you just told me what the defensive stats are. He's also averaging 27 points a game. Like AD is killing it. So, but that's our awards. Do you have anything else to say before we get out of here?
Nah, man. I just I wish Embiid gave me a better season. I wanted him to be MVP this year.
Yeah, the process is done, man. They need to blow it up.
I don't even know what to say. I'm just so disappointed in them.
Process is done, but that is our NBA predictions for what we think the awards are going to be. The article will be in the bio of this video. Thank you. Make sure you guys subscribe.